I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I am a big fan of stop-motion animation. I'm a fan of it in movies, in short films, in YouTube videos. I've even done stop-motion animation myself for years growing up. So, when you take a style that I already know and love, and combine it with one of the most satisfying directors to watch in Wes Anderson, you've basically won me over already. That's right, today we're talking about Fantastic Mr. Fox and what makes it so fantastic. From the animation to the cinematography, to the designs, to the comedy, to the story and the cast, this movie hits all the boxes for me. It's one of Wes Anderson's best, and it's just a cozy watch during the fall season. So let's not waste any more time and talk about this excellent movie. In the world of most modern 3D animation looking the same, it's amazing when we get a film that experiments and tries new things with its animation. But it's just as amazing when a film does one of the oldest, most timeless forms of animation, stop motion. Don't get me wrong, I love it when a film innovates and tries new things with animation, like Into the Spider-Verse. I already talked about that in a video I did on all the Spider-Man movies. But then there's stop motion. It just has such a charming look to it. The way the sets are all built and designed, everything carefully crafted, the fluid, expressive movements of the characters. I already love the look of Wes Anderson movies, but you add stop motion to that, and I love it even more. The way the camera moves in scenes like the opening where they steal the chickens, or the digging, or the heist at the end. And then there's scenes where they hold the camera, and you can see things going on all around the frame. Like in this one scene in the beginning of the movie. In the center of the frame, Mr. Fox is flipping through the newspaper, but on the right side of the frame, we see his wife pouring coffee and talking to Mr. Fox. Then on the left side of the frame, Ash walks in and has a quick conversation with Felicity, telling her he's sick before she sends him away. Then we cut to a close-up shot of Mr. Fox in the newspaper. But it's little scenes like this that I love. Not only the signature Wes Anderson symmetry, but the whole frame is active. Oftentimes in photography and cinematography, you'll learn about the rule of thirds, and here, there's movement and action in each third of the frame. On the right, we have Felicity pouring coffee and talking to Ash. In the middle, we have Mr. Fox reading the paper, and on the left, we have Ash. Every third of the frame has something going on, and you could argue that this is too much clutter, but to me, it's great. The viewer has something to look at in every part of the frame. It's the signature, satisfying style of Wes Anderson films, done in the satisfying style of stop motion. And then there's the colors. This movie has great yellows and orange and brown. It definitely fits with the fall season. And there's little charming moments with the animation, like in the chemistry class with Ash and Christopherson. You see all the bubbles and the little smoke that kind of looks like cotton balls. It's really cool. And the expressiveness of the characters. I love this look Mr. Fox has when he realizes Christopherson was kidnapped. And there's shots that I love, even without the active camera movement, because they just look great. There's this shot of Mr. Fox standing by the waterfall in the sewer. There's the shot of Bugs, Bunce, and Bean from the treehouse. There's the dancing. This film just looks great all around, and all of that comes down to the excellent animation. It's not the same 3D style we see in most modern animated movies. It's stop motion, and it's timeless. Fantastic Mr. Fox has an ensemble cast of characters. It's a pretty stacked cast, full of the usual actors you'll see in a Wes Anderson project, like Bill Murray, Willem Dafoe, Owen Wilson, and Jason Schwartzman. Then there's other big stars like George Clooney and Meryl Streep. I can't name everyone, but everyone does a good job. One common criticism of Wes Anderson movies is how he writes his characters and how they aren't really relatable or human enough. Personally, I don't buy into that criticism as much, but I don't think it holds up here. For one, the characters can't be human because they're all animals. But the biggest reason it doesn't hold up is Fantastic Mr. Fox himself. He's funny, charming, charismatic. He just pops off the screen. I think a lot of it comes down to George Clooney and his performance. Mr. Fox and Danny Ocean aren't all that different. They have that charisma where when they talk, you're gonna listen. Mr. Fox may go behind his wife's back to steal and get the farmers mad and get their home destroyed, but hey, look at him, he just did the whistle thing. This movie plays the balancing act with Mr. Fox's character arc. He's a bit arrogant, but he has that charisma to keep pulling you back in over and over. Besides, he's stealing from bad guys, so that can't make him bad, right? Well, he also puts his family at risk, and isn't the best parent to his son, Ash. He openly favors Christopherson, and even brings Christopherson along to help him steal from the farmers. Felicity is rightfully upset by this. Mr. Fox obviously has an ego. He wants everyone to be impressed by him, and doesn't feel as valuable if they're not. So he steals from and toys with Boggs, Bunce, and Bean, one fat, one short, one mean, until all his family and friends are stuck underground and the farmers want them dead. You're blinded by Fox's fun, charismatic attitude until he tests it one too many times. He's called out for it by Badger, Felicity, and others. But eventually he comes to realize his mistake, and he owns up to putting everybody in danger. And in the end, he gets to make up for it and save the day, while still being the sly fox we all love. And Mr. Fox isn't the only great character. There's other characters that are great as well. Boggs, Bunce, and Bean are fun villains. There's this one awesome little scene where it's just a still camera shot of Bean absolutely wrecking shit in anger. It is hilarious. Ash and Christopherson have a really nice side plot, where Ash is jealous at first, but then they kinda come to bond towards the end. I like the Willem Dafoe rat. I like the Owen Wilson cameo, where he introduces the greatest sport of all time, whack-bat. Felicity is great. I love how she gets to stand up to Mr. Fox, but then help out in the end. There are some Wes Anderson movies where I understand his criticisms of character writing, but I don't think it applies here. This might be a hot take, but Moonrise Kingdom is one Wes Anderson movie where I felt that criticism applied. To me, Edward Norton's character was the only one that really stood out in that movie. But here, every character has a role, and they play that role effectively. And Mr. Fox is just iconic. I already kind of covered this when I talked about the animation, but I figured the vibes of this movie should get its own category. It's just such a fun watch. It's a fun little heist movie with great characters and expressive animation. The colors pop. The animation is expressive. There's fun running gags. Like, they say cuss in place of curse words, and it's cussing awesome. There's one gag of Mr. Fox talking in Latin. Then, near the end, we get the payoff where they see this wolf as they're riding away on a motorcycle, and it's an oddly beautiful scene. There's an interesting stare down with Mr. Fox and the wolf, and the score is this cool chorus. It kind of reminds me of the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly score. The music all around in this movie is pretty good. There's the Canis Lupus song that I just mentioned, the catchy song Mr. Fox in the Fields, the Boggs, Bunce, and Bean song, and I love all the sequences in the various heists. There's the electric fence, the beagles and the blueberries, and the cider and the rat fights. The final climactic scenes are all great as well. I love the animation of the smoke and fire, with the classic Wes Anderson camera pan across all the burning buildings. Then I like these shots of the characters on the motorcycle. The whole climax is this fun, energetic ride, and then we end it on this nice dance sequence in a grocery store. Holy cuss, I love this cussing movie. Fantastic Mr. Fox is a fantastic movie. It's one of Wes Anderson's best. He's done other stop-motion movies, like Isle of Dogs, but I think Fantastic Mr. Fox is easily the better movie. And out of what I've seen from Wes Anderson's filmography, I think it's his best outside Grand Budapest Hotel. The animation is great, the cinematography is pretty, the music is catchy, the story is fun, the characters are captivating. This might be one of my shorter videos because I don't have much more to say other than how much I like this movie. It's a comfort movie, perfect for the fall season. I love this cussing movie. 9 out of 10. See you all later.